What's going on, everybody? Welcome to the last episode of Thought Process of the year 2020. Greg, we're here. We made it. We made it through a pandemic. We made it through killer bees. We made it through an election year.
The beach was glowing at night. You remember that?
Yes.
There's algae.
The algae.
The invasion of the
Area
jellyfish.
51? Was that this year?
Aliens.
Was Area 51 like the
Naruto
storm,
running one?
Yeah, the storm Area 51 that was this year?
Because we wanted to go.
Look, man, we made it. This is our last episode of the year. Just want to thank you guys first and foremost for joining us week after week, for helping us grow this podcast. This year, actually, I wanted to do a little bit of the numbers. It's not hard to remember because there's not that much going on. But at the beginning of the year, we started with 7 listeners. Now we have at least about 50 subscribers.
Through YouTube, yeah.
Through YouTube. Actually, I haven't pulled up the ones from Spotify and all those other podcasts yet. But we're being listened to. So, I just want to thank you guys. I want to congratulate you guys because if you're listening to this podcast, it's because you've made it. You're alive. I hope you're healthy. Yeah, man. Well, I don't know what else to be thankful for. Everything's going good. There were a lot of bumps in the road for 2020, but we made it. We're on the other side.
Stimulus coming in too.
So if you don't live in the United States, you're probably not getting stimulus package.
There might be something else. I'm just not really following it.
Well, don't worry. It's only $600. It's gonna pay for this basically.
Like Oliver Twist said, more.
Oh man. So today, our little theme today is actually more of a speakeasy, and I thought about this earlier in the week because today, for most people, we're doing it under low key. We're not, we have a state mandate that prohibits the congregation of more than 2 families at a household, which I'm sure no one's going to pay attention to. Nobody cares. Everybody wants to be with family. I
wouldn't say nobody. A lot of people don't care.
Okay. Most of the people in California are going to disobey it.
Sure.
Okay. Now, there's 2 things to that. Number 1, we're actually going to get a small spike. Or I hope it's a small spike of COVID cases, not a big spike.
You hope? What do you...
I'm not... Okay.
It's going to be the same.
You understand what I'm saying.
It's not changing, yeah. A third of California's population has reportedly already gotten it. The other third is about, I would say, is probably children. And then the other third who hasn't gotten it is getting it through Christmas or will eventually get it. Like, we're almost to a point to where almost everyone's either gotten it or, like, we're going towards the end of where there's just no choice anymore.
Right. And so, because of the mandate, hence the theme of the speakeasy, because if we remember back in history, the Roaring 20s happened after the Great Depression. If I'm not mistaken. And I think that's going to happen again. It's going to be the Roaring 20s again. It's like a...
But there's not really anything to hide anymore. I mean, like gatherings, but no one's actually going out and searching for people who are doing gatherings.
Well, maybe not gatherings, but the fact that there aren't many places open that are allowed open to have a congregation of people, that's really affected a lot of people. For instance, what are you going to do this weekend?
I might be going up to the mountain.
Right.
Big Bear.
Because you want to get out of here. So many people think the same way. Like, we need to socialize as people. It's in our nature. That's what we do.
We need to be around other people. I wouldn't necessarily say we have to socialize with multiple people. Like going and having friends, sure, is normal. But what I mean by being social, like, that's why I think restaurants are so successful, because you can go and sit down, get that feeling of socializing with people you never actually talked to, and be able to leave and go back to your own thing. Like, I don't like to talk to new people, but I like going to restaurants because I get that feeling that, hey, okay, I contributed to the world, and now I'll go back to my cave.
The butterfly effect.
For winter, I got fat like a bear, and now I'm gonna go hibernate.
It's like the butterfly effect.
Yeah.
You know, Greg, for whatever reason, chose to go out on a Friday night to Chili's. And
dude,
then because of that,
they got some bomb potato soup, dude.
Because of that, we know we're not going to have a nuclear war. Imagine that's the reason why there's no like apocalypse, because Greg went out and ate some cheesy potatoes at Chili's.
Dude, they have a potato soup. It's so good.
So anyway, so the speakeasy, right? So what was part of the speakeasy back in the day? So during the Prohibition, you know, where you couldn't sell alcohol, they opened up these cool little spots hidden, sometimes in homes, where people would come in, gather around, and then they would sell alcohol, and people just, they drank till their heart stopped, dude, literally. And so that's why the theme. I actually got this black label, this Johnny Walker black label for must have been my birthday gift. So we're gonna pair it up with a couple of cigars. This one here is by Alec Bradley. It's called the Prensado.
If you want to see what they are, we're gonna post it up on the Instagram. So check out the Instagram.
Man, it smells pretty good.
It'll be up by tomorrow for sure.
So this is the Fiesta Pack. Comes in 4, which is pretty interesting.
It's not Fiesta. It's festival. It's for the Christmas Fiesta. Does it say?
Oh, it says fresh.
You said they were. The place we went to was actually in downtown Fullerton. Do you remember the name of it?
8088.
8088, and it's a cigar club and bar.
Members only.
Yeah, so
pretty exclusive.
So they have it open to sell cigars right now because they can't keep the bar open. And so we went in there, we were talking to the guy, and he said that they usually don't keep like cheaper cigars because it's a club and most of the people going, I don't want the cheap stuff. So he's like, this is kind of the set that we get, that because it's Christmas time, they're giving us more at a cheaper price. So he said he can pair them up and do a package and sell it to us for a cheaper price as well. So
we got lucky. You know, if you guys are in Orange County and want to go to a cool little place to kick back and smoke, check out 8088 downtown Fullerton. What's going on?
It just zoomed into me while you were talking and you're doing that.
It's okay.
You were in the middle of your talk. All right. So I've never I've smoked, like, what would you consider? I puffed a cigar a couple times, like puffed it like 5 times. So I don't know really much about cigars, and I don't know how to. What's the reasoning for chopping the cigar?
Well, these are hand rolled, right? So at the very end, I don't know if it's to keep the freshness of the tobacco, because this is just tobacco. It kind of it encapsulates the end. And so what you need to do is you need to cut it, but there's a certain way you need to cut it. You don't want to cut it too much, because then you get too much of the bold flavor of the cigar, because cigars are really bold. It's pure tobacco. So what you want to do is you want to cut it at the end of the cigar, and then it will help minimize.
Filter it?
Yeah.
So the end of the cigar there, is it just like bunched up leaf? Okay,
so
it acts as a natural
leaf.
filter, essentially.
So
okay, and then the other side you just cut so that the same reason, but to burn.
Well, this one's already comes like that.
Oh, okay.
So it's basically just this one.
Okay. And then same thing. I don't know how to even start one, because you're not supposed to inhale it all the way.
No. The thing about, they're a little tricky to do it, but what I learned a trick. Okay, so let me tell you the story. In 2017, I went to Scottsdale for a convention, for a travel show.
Okay.
At the place where we were having the convention, they had a whiskey bar and cigars where you would pair. And so that place actually taught me a little bit about pairing. So there's a certain way to drink whiskey or scotch. It was actually a scotch bar.
Okay.
I don't know what the difference is in. I think you may be a bit more familiar with the terms of the whiskey as opposed to scotch. Is it because the way it's made or where it comes from?
It's where it's come from. So scotch can only be called scotch because it was made in Scotland. So it's the same thing with champagne.
France,
Champagne has to be made in Champagne, France.
like sriracha.
So it's not necessarily too much different. It's more or less the people who are like who can taste the difference in quality, who will really be able to be like, oh, okay, this is definitely not from Champagne, or this is definitely not from Scotland. I think the majority of people probably can't taste the difference. So
the trick is to burn the end of the cigar first. You burn the edges, right? Get it nice and crispy brown. And then you light the match and then you just puff it. You puff it. And remember, you never want to inhale the cigar. It's really, really strong. It'll burn the throat. It's really uncomfortable. So you want to give it a try, Greg? You want to try to...
yeah, I can give it a try.
So,
Let's see how it goes.
So again, you light the match. You kind of burn the edges. There we go.
And then it just stays.
Yeah,
Just-
it might go out. I might have to do it a couple of times, but eventually it will just stay on.
Huh. Let's see this.
So this is actually Greg's first time doing smoking a stoke. Right, Greg?
I saw you doing 2. Does it matter?
I like the 2 because it just burns faster and longer, as opposed to just doing 1.
Okay, so the first time you do it, you just burn the outside essentially.
Yeah.
You don't have enough to start it.
Right. Because it will take some time. It takes a couple of times to get it.
Are you kidding me?
Turn it around. The circle.
I saw this video of
I don't think it's already out.
I saw this video of someone who put a bunch of matches inside of a Corona beer bottle. Did you see that one?
No.
And then he lit the matches and just dropped some in it.
Mm-hmm.
It started to obviously light all the other matches, but then the bottle blew up because of all the pressure of all the matches and sucking
the air, the oxygen.
the oxygen out. Yeah.
Yeah.
What the?
Let's just hope that this guy doesn't end the year with burning down my studio here. So you want to be at it like an angle. There you go. Just burn the edges all the way around. There you go. There we go. There you go. Now the next one, I think you can actually light it, puff it. Yeah, it's nice. It's nice and burnt. See how this side started burning, but this one didn't? That's because I should have done it longer on this opposite side here, and I did not do that. So, come on, Greg, I believe in you. Do more like at an angle. There you go. I don't even remember where I picked up smoking cigars from. It was just it's already out.
Is it? Can't tell.
You want me to pull out a light? See, the thing about this,
one.
it kind of messes up with the flavor. That's why they give you cigars. I mean the matches, because it's a more natural. And if you can tell, the tip will actually go. It'll turn off. Here. All right, everybody. Craig's gonna talk while I help him do this. So.
Yep, I can do it. What do you need? This?
Yeah.
Oh, okay, for that.
Yeah. So
I feel like I've
I'm
always
gonna
sucked at
light you up,
matches.
dude. I'm gonna light you up, and then all you have to do is puff it. All right.
It's so weird to me that someone's like, let's take leaves.
Go.
Oh, wait, what?
Oh, really quick. Puff it, puff it. Puff it. No, you gotta like. So you literally. Greg is just
I'm
basically
just sucking it.
sucking on the cigar.
I don't know what you mean by puff.
So
breathe it in.
no, like imagine you're like sucking in water without drinking it.
It's like slobber, not slobber.
No,
Slurp.
like imagine like drinking water from a pool, but not drinking it. That's what you got to do.
Yeah,
You ready?
so like slurping like off the end of the spoon, but you're not supposed to do.
Okay, I got you.
I need a.
Okay,
You have a torch.
Come here. Go.
This is great. It's a first time experience, and you could tell.
All right, Greg.
Nothing, bro.
Yeah, it's on. It's on. You just have
Is it?
to. Wait, let me see.
It's not chopped, huh? Is that what it is? That's what I thought it was gonna be, and I didn't say anything.
Oh my God!
You
So
said
we
you were
just-
gonna do it.
Yeah, but I forgot that you said let's do it live so that people
Oh,
can see
that's
the
right. I didn't
experience.
say that. That's what I was wondering. I was like, even doing that, I don't.
Oh my God, this is hilarious. All right, so let me see.
All right.
So,
So show the
well,
camera.
Well, kind of,
Well, they
get
can't
that
see.
slobber off. COVID regulations.
Oh, you're chopping off the COVID. So. Oh boy, Steve is just looking at him like, what the hell is going on? That's what I thought. I was like,
Twirl it. Keep going. Twirl it again. There you go. Keep going. Keep going. Come on, keep
I
going.
don't have any more to twirl.
More. Suck on it. Now suck on it. But don't inhale it. Gotta teach this kid how to crawl before he can run.
Yeah, whatever.
Yeah, fool, whatever.
Oh no
Damn.
way!
This guy puffs the one cigar one time, he turns Mexican. Hey, whatever, dude.
Oh, chinga. So okay, why is there a reason people hold it a certain way? Like I was holding it like this, like you think Snoop Dogg holds it, but like, is there a way to hold? Like, should you hold it up because it like the flame stays better, or like how you said it was going down one of the ways?
Do you want to look cool or do you want to look like you're sucking something else? It's basically what it is.
That's it.
That's it.
So I could have like a selfie stick holding mine up and just like back and forth.
Basically. So that's that, dude. So that's how you turn on, or that's how you start a cigar. So, dude, 2020, man. So again, we're here. What's something that really changed your perspective on life in 2020? And while you tell me, I'm gonna pour us.
Perspective on life in 2020.
Yeah.
Well, I don't necessarily think it changed any good perception.
Let me have your glass, please.
any good perception in my eyes. I got very lazy. I'm going bald. I'm getting fat. I don't know. Yeah, I dropped off a lot. I wasn't active at all. I kind of liked it only because that's how I normally am. So like going to work and walking around for 8 hours did a lot more positive to my body than I thought it did.
Of course, man. And you know what, dude? I noticed that right away. When, maybe I noticed it like a month into quarantine, which was like April. Dude, that shit messed me up. You remember, we talked about it. Mm-hmm. It was one of those things that I used to be really, really active. From night to day, like all the gyms were closed. And then everybody was still kind of worried about going hiking because when you go hiking, you still pass through people and there's people on the trail and, whatever. So that kind of just threw a wrench in my system,
Yeah.
But nowadays it's like, now we don't have an excuse now.
Yeah.
Right.
And I don't know. I always talk about video games, and that's one of the things that I was talking about the other day, where I was sitting there, and one of the streamers was saying, like, "Why do I still play this garbage game?" And then I thought about it, and I was just like, "Yeah, why do I do this? Like, I get accomplishments that people are like, oh, cool,' and then they move on from. Like, no one stays around with the accomplishment. No one cares after that." And I was like, "What? Why not I doing something that actually?"
It's not lasting.
Stays around.
It's not lasting. You know what it is? It's instant pleasure.
Yeah.
The same way it comes in, it leaves the body.
Mm-hmm.
Right? I get it, dude. I think that in the same way, I'm the same way in other ways. It could be like maybe watching a movie.
Uh-huh.
You come home, you have your drink, and then it's like, okay, let's just watch a movie. Like, there's nothing. We're not gonna go out. Like, there's nothing to do. The people are still kind of weird about getting together. So, the socialization of people has been very minimal this year. But now it's time to get creative.
I think it's blown out.
No, try it.
No,
Try it again. I see the.
Nothing.
All right.
Go ahead.
What was I saying about 2020? So you said that 2020 had more of a negative impact on your life than positive. And I think that most people would agree. Now, I don't know if people are more optimistic now that we've seen that the virus is not so deadly. Now COVID has been part of our life for over a year. What's now? Like, what are we going to do now?
We got to live with it.
Right?
That's kind of...
Dude, so...
It's like cancer. Like, it's not really going anywhere. It's going to be there. Some people get it. Some people don't. It affects more people than it does other people. And that's what life is. So,
you mean we're just going to, it's going to be a disease that we're just going to have to live with, right?
Well, for a good amount of time, at least. I mean, it's like, if it was so bad to the sense that everything would have to shut down, like, we wouldn't be having, grocery stores wouldn't work, this and that. Like, I saw a post earlier when I was going through social media where I think it was Argentina just passed the ability to do abortions. And so I was reading all the comments to see just like what people were saying.
Was this YouTube?
And, no, this was on Instagram. And one of the comments was just talking about how it doesn't change anything. Like, if you view it as a good thing, then you view it as a good thing. If you view it as a bad thing, it's a bad thing. So by them doing it just gives everyone the knowledge of what you think of someone else. So if you think that only evil people have abortions, then now, because so many people are talking about it, you will be able to just know who you want to be around and who you don't want to be around. So none of that has ever changed. When you learn things about people that you don't like, you usually leave. So now you're just finding out more and more about people because so many people are open that it's easier to decide about people.
Do you think that that's kind of dangerous in a way where conversations are just going to stop? Like, imagine you have two of the greatest minds.
Real conversations, yes.
Yeah. So imagine that you have two of the greatest minds.
Mm-hmm.
And because of their ideas and how they are... Excuse me, sir. Cheers.
That's my second drink.
Dude, you're messing up, man. You're messing up that gentleman code.
I know. I actually thought about it right after I took the sip. And I was like, oh, someone's going to call me out on that.
Totally.
I'm very impatient when it comes to drinks and food. If you get a drink and you get your food, start eating, start drinking. Don't wait for me.
Some would say that it's been that. Well, let me talk about it. My experience from the Hispanic community. If you start eating without your parents, they'll make it known that it's not okay.
Well, there's a difference if you're gonna have dinner and sit down with your family and you start eating and no one's come over yet, that's different. But if, let's say, we put all the food on the table and everyone's dishing their food out, but me over here, I only like two of the things on the table, so it takes me 2 seconds to fill my plate, and I start eating before everyone dishes. I don't think there's anything rude about that.
Okay. I don't know where I got it from. I don't think it was my family, but I read it somewhere that said it is polite to wait for your host to start eating before you start eating yourself.
Yeah, etiquette.
So I don't know where you were going with that.
Oh, I was just bringing that point up because we were talking about it.
Well, what were we talking about? We were talking about
the negative, how it
the
impacted
negative
me more
effect
negatively.
of like not having conversations.
I think it
because
brought
of ideas.
Well, I think 2020 brought a negativity in my personal life myself, not for people around me. So I think it was better for my son, for my son's brother, because I was now able to be around all the time. Like it sounds really bad, but my son has only experienced me going to work 3 times in his life. Anytime that he's with me, I'm there. I'm not going to work and coming back. And so in that sense, that was good. But in the sense of me physically, like just sitting at home eating freaking Nutella and graham crackers all day, playing video games, it was negative. There have been times where like I get these like 2 weeks of like, all right, I'm gonna get back into it, and after the 2 weeks, it's gone. And I'm sure it could happen again. But one of the things that I started with this week was just cleaning the room and getting rid of things. And if I couldn't make a decision on something, like I don't know, say I found a coaster and I was like, okay, I never used the coaster. It's always there. Bye. Like,
so just getting rid of the clutter.
Either that or
things.
actually start using it. So like we bought this thing right here. It's just a little tablet kind of thing. We bought this for the kids for a trip so they can draw and have something to do. It was $20. It's just this little tablet that you can write notes on and you erase it. So what I've started to do is when I put on like a YouTube video, I watch this guy on YouTube called Meet Kevin. It's very good if you want to look into him. He does investing in stocks. He's been keeping up with the stimulus package. He's a realtor. He gives out a lot of very good information very clearly. And his videos are like usually like 7 to an hour long, 7 minutes to an hour long. So if say I put on a video, instead of playing a video game on the side, I'll go sit on my bike while I watch the video and I'll take notes on this.
Cool.
And so it's something that I've been able to incorporate and just push my focus from things that aren't helping to things that are. my days have gone by so quickly. Like
in a positive way,
yeah,
or
like I don't have a moment of like, okay, what am I gonna do next? It's like this thing to that thing to this thing to that to this. We want to start a YouTube channel for the kids because the kids have wanted to start one.
Do you have a name?
No, I haven't chosen a name yet. But like I took B-roll footage this week.
So you were showing me a little bit of the B-roll. Can you explain to people, because what is it about the way that it's made that makes it so appealing to the eye?
It's supposed to be something flashy that can come back into your video in some sort of way, or it doesn't have to. It's like an intermission. Like when we used to go to the movies a long time ago, there'd be an intermission halfway through the movie to allow you to go buy a drink, get your drink, go to the bathroom, and not miss anything.
It's like a spacer.
Yeah, it's a spacer just to give you that time to refresh and get back into it.
So do you want to? Can you explain to people?
Catchy to catch your eye.
Can you explain to people what a B-roll video is? So, because you were showing me one of a product, and the way you it's basically just a product, and you use like different techniques to show the product, right?
Yeah. So like a lot of people will use like they'll set up a camera in their car and just record their drive, and then just put that drive and fast forward and do a drone shot from their car, and you kind of want to create a story with it. So it's like if say we're advertising the black label right there, we would take the black label and say I'm videotaping it and I throw it to you to the left. Then we'll cut to another scene where you catch it coming in from the left side of the screen. So they're two different shots, but like you create this kind of story around the bottle where now maybe you accidentally have it slip out from here, and the next scene someone grabs it while it's falling from a super high spot. So it's just like connecting, making a story behind behind a specific purpose.
And why does that work? Is it because of our
it's gratification?
Well, yes, but hang on. Is it because our very small attention span that we have?
I think it went out again.
Greg, what's going on over there, man?
I don't know.
You gotta light it up, light it up.
So it's the attention span. No one can completely pay attention for a long period of time. They have to break up things to retain enough information. There has to be some sort of break. So that's one of the things that I've been trying to do is, like, let's say you clean your house, right? And you're going from here, you're like, all right, I'm going to start in this area, but this thing belongs in your room. So as you pick this up to walk it to your room, on your way back, you see like 10 other things. And you're like, I got to clean that. But I said, I'm going to start in this corner. Are you really wasting all your time on all of this? No, you got to clean it up anyways. So why are you wasting time walking over here? Like, your mind needs that kind of break and like planning phase almost.
It's interesting because, most of I'm going to say the majority of all the YouTube videos are now edited that way. And it seems to work. If it's you're playing we can't have things fast enough. Yeah. We're so spoiled, Greg. People are so spoiled now. The instant gratification is becoming one of those things that it's going to make people or break people. And, so Greg, I was telling you about me going to Scottsdale, how they showed me how to taste the scotch, right? Yeah. So there's a couple of steps. So basically, let's say that let's say that you're going to a bar. You want to impress this girl, right? What you want to do is you want to say, hey, I'll order, let's see, let me get a scotch neat. And so basically neat means just a scotch. It's like it's just in a shot. And what you want to do is, you bring it, you kind of
get the aroma.
You taste it. Swish it around your mouth so that your taste buds get shocked. And then the next thing you want to do is smell the aroma again. This time you actually drink the scotch straight, and you'll notice that the scotch doesn't taste too strong anymore. Sometimes what you would also do, I forgot some water, but you can basically put just a couple of drops in the scotch. And what that will do is it'll actually activate the flavor. It'll allow the flavor to come out in full body.
Okay.
And so sometimes, now, if you're a true gentleman, what you can also do is you can dip the end of your cigar just a little bit.
It's like dipping your milk in cookies, huh?
Dude, try it, watch. Now, the cigar tastes that much better, man. So I've noticed you need to put your lips around the cigar. There you go. Greg. Look at this guy. Now he's
trying to do those vape circles, bro. Okay, so we talked about the way to drink the whiskey, right? Mm-hmm. And you were talking about, did they say that it's like guys try to get the whiskey to impress the girl?
No, you know what it is? It's a manly drink. Like, it's a very, what do you call that? Like, it's an acquired taste that not everybody can partake in it.
I think whiskey is to men what dressing up and doing makeup is to women. So the men do it to impress the men, not to impress the women. They think this impresses the woman, but the women doing the makeup and everything, they want to look better than the other women. I mean, granted, we like it too, but but you know what I'm saying there?
Yeah.
Like this is the version of dressing up.
It could be seen that way, yes. It's, you want to be a man. What is a man? A man is like a burly man he's strong. He can do things that other men can't do. Debate is. It could be like, I don't know, if you go to the gym, it's basically those guys doing, deadlifts. If you go to a car show, it's those guys with the V8, right? Mm-hmm. It's loud, powerful. If you go to, you want to go to a barber shop where they do they basically shave with a single blade, right? That's what men think men are. I don't know. I've had to figure it out on my own.
I'm actually really curious because, like, when you talk about things like that, like cigars, where we went for one cigar was minimum $10-12. Mm-hmm. Whiskey, the bottle is probably what
I didn't buy it.
This one's probably 75.
I don't know.
So let's just say $50. So right there, that's $60 just to hang out.
Just to be a man.
To get those kind of shaves now, to get those kind of shaves.
$40 minimum.
Just to get a shave, not adding on the haircut.
Yeah.
And so we've turned that stuff into too much profit. And we don't have the joys anymore. Like I was talking about with Christmas, how everyone got to experience all these things and there was much more happiness around. It's not, sure, anyone can do it, but not a lot of people are willing to pay $45 for a shave and a haircut. Like, but I don't have enough here to go get that done.
Do you know what happened, though?
I'm going bald. I'm not going to go pay for a haircut. I'm just going to shave my head.
But do you know what happened, though?
Huh?
What happened was that this whole lifestyle has died off. The reason why it's not cheap anymore is because there's less and less and less. Granted, in the past 10, 12 years, we actually had a what is it called? Like the the trend cycled back. Now it was like being a hipster. You go to a barbershop, you get these mustaches, and then you do these kind of things.
Yeah.
What happened was the technology started taking away from these experiences, because now instead of like socializing at a barbershop, you literally just you go on an app and there's no phone call anymore. You know what I mean? Like you just go on an app, you schedule your haircut at Supercuts or whatever the hell,
Fantastic Sam.
Fantastic Sam's. And it's like very, the quality is not there.
Yeah, they're just there to give you the haircut. And
This
you're out.
stuff, Greg, like going to a barbershop, getting that fade and all that stuff, it's an art form. It's a dying art form. I wouldn't say it's dying anymore, but there was a point where it was a dying art form.
Only people who are able to have the luxury take it.
And because of that, because the demand is not there, things have to be a little bit pricier. It becomes a hipster thing. So, and then they catch on. They're like, oh, we can make some profit off this. So,
a lot of people can have one luxury. They choose their luxury, and that's kind of where it's at. Like, I would choose something else over a haircut and a shave.
And so,
any
what's
day,
and what's a luxury right now? Having Netflix,
sure.
Having money to go to the bar or be on Tinder to pay the plus. Or
my luxury is food, essentially. Going out with some people and getting some food. That's my luxury. I enjoy that much more than, say, going and getting my hair done by myself kind of thing. So I'm very much about the free luxuries in life. Like, I went and I walked on the beach by myself the other day, and it was nice and awkward at the same time, because I'm awkward about everything.
Greg's like, oh, darkness, my old friend.
Well, no, like, I was taking videos, and I made sure that I went to a part of the beach where no one was at. And then I started walking, and people would walk towards me, so I would turn the camera just because I don't know. I think too much about everything, and so that's why I always
go, man.
I like the free luxuries in life. Like when we went for the bachelor party, I was so happy we went camping, instead of going to like do something else.
So let me touch upon that. That day, we did the manliest things we could think of. It was more like
we played Three Flags Up.
It was more like an initiation to manhood. And that's what it felt like. I was like, hey, what are you guys trying to do? Like, you guys think I need this or what? We cooked some meat. We had some burgers. We had some drinks. We cracked the cold one with the boys. We went camping. We were playing like football, Three Flags. Like, it was a little rough. It started getting a little rough. We started getting competitive.
I think we played soccer. Is when
we played soccer too. Then we took a hike, and in the middle of the hike, we just stopped in the middle of this field. And in the field, you could hear like swarms of bees, and it was exhilarating. And I remember that we all kind of just looked at each other, and we just let out the rage. We just like roared to the mountain as loud as we could, just letting all that toxic masculinity out.
We were knocking on your door.
We were the ones knocking that day. And because of that actually, if that was like one of the most manliest things we've ever done.
Yeah.
Right? As a group. Now, everybody can sit here and say, well, that's your perspective of what a man is. And that's exactly right. That's my perspective on what the man is or how they are.
I think it wasn't about what we did. It was about who we did it with and how much everyone was okay with what was happening. So, like, let's say, like I said, I'm so glad we did that. Because like if we went to like San Diego and went to bars and we were out dancing, I would have been, obviously you would see me and be like, oh, he's not enjoying himself.
It was a good time, but it was a different type of good time.
That's my point, is everyone was okay being there and had the energy behind everything we were doing, and there was there was no one who was out of place. And that's what I feel like has more of that feeling of being a man than anything, is being able to be connected and okay with everything that's happening. Like having the connection without having to like talk to people about anything. There were no problems. We were just living. That's it.
We can argue that that's what life's supposed to be,
Yeah.
right?
I wish it was simpler in the sense of like I understand it's not reasonable enough. Not everyone's going to be able to grow their own food, yada, yada, yada. But I think if we lived in a simpler time where everyone could grow food and we could trade and it was sustainable, but not like way over the top where like we just go to a grocery store and get whatever we want. Like we had to put some work into it. I feel like I'd belong in a time like that.
It's just the you're being connected back to your primal self.
Yeah, we have no
See,
reason.
because of technology, our primal self has suffered a lot.
Yeah.
Because instead of getting up and thinking, how am I going to get food on the table? We're getting up, checking Instagram. Instant gratification brings nothing. Once you check Instagram, you realize that you didn't miss shit.
Yeah.
Right? And so,
I mean, or you missed it, but now
it's okay.
But
And
now
life's
you're
okay.
reminded that you missed it.
But also life's okay.
Yeah.
You know?
That's why I feel like time, us knowing time is a bad thing almost. It's a good tool to use. Like we talked about before with the social dilemma, that social media is a good tool to use, but you put a tool down when you're done with it. It shouldn't be saying, hey, come over here and use me. Like a shovel's not like, hey, I want to dig a hole right now. Come over here. Pick me up and dig a hole. And so that's what I feel like time is. Time should be a tool to be told, hey, I'm coming around this time. Not, you need to be here. Like, it makes us feel like we can't get as much done in 24 hours as we could if we didn't have time. I feel.
It puts
what I mean?
It puts us in a box.
Yeah.
Damn, Greg, imagine the way to control the masses is to put them in a box of time that is constructed by day and night. But also, you could argue that that's nature, because when the sun rises, you wake up. When the sun sets, you go to sleep. So it's not necessarily man-made. I mean, time exists without man, or at least our understanding of time.
What we consider is time is based off of going around the sun and us taking the time away for that. But if we didn't have a clock, can you tell us what time it is? No. Does it matter? No. So it's a good tool, but we use it too rashly, too much.
Yeah. You know, just the other day I had this thought of, damn, I'm 30 years old. What's next? And what's going to happen when I'm 50? And if I think that people back in the day when they had like no retirement, when they worked up until they died, they basically worked themselves to death. It might have been a better time. Ironically, because they weren't ever thinking about the future. They were just living in the now, in the present.
Yeah.
And we're missing that, man. Like you said, social media has really given us a different lens. It's like it's a false reality of life. You know? So damn, I don't know, dude. I actually wanted to talk to you about how in some ways 2020 has been really good for people, because in what we just said about us being indoors, being quarantined, it made us have, like, it forced us to pent up energy in our bodies that now we're seeking, and now we're understanding that technology is not it. Like you said, it's a tool, but it's not nature. We need nature. We need to disconnect. We need to go to gatherings. We need to go see our family. We need to go see loved ones. We need these things.
Yeah.
Technology has made a difference in that, in a way where it's giving you a false sense of that same feeling. It's like it comes in empty. Like it comes packaged as that feeling, but in reality, the feeling comes empty, because I can sit all day and talk to my sisters down in Mexico through WhatsApp, but I'm sure that if I were to sit with them again in person, the experience would be crazy. Like I don't even know how to put it into words. Like that's
funny. I didn't know you had sisters down there.
what are you talking about? Yeah,
I didn't know that.
Dude,
You may have told me. I just don't remember because obviously I've not met them.
right.
So it's interesting. I have family that so like I have two cousins who live in Washington. They may have moved, and I've met them like twice in my life. And when I met them, they were like 20, 28, 30. So they're much older now. One of them is actually a trainer for a football team, I believe. He's one of the
Coach?
he's not a coach.
Like
He's like a physical fitness trainer.
Oh,
So
okay.
like the ones who check their progression. They're not there to train, but like let's say this guy's right arm is giving him problems, he creates like the plan to get him into
Like
shape.
therapy.
Essentially. Yeah. And
Cool.
And they were both in the military, and met him a couple times. And
From your parent, like what side of the parents?
my dad's side. So my mom's side, I have some cousins who we see every once in a while. I'd probably see them once a year, going to my grandma's house for Christmas. But when we see each other, we just sit down and play some board games. Like it was just, hey guys, what's going on? Like we don't go deep or anything necessarily, but we can call each other names or like, you suck at this game. Like it's not awkward.
Right.
And why can't we bring that same thing into everyday life? I don't understand it, because I can't just sit down. Like there's people who are probably coming tonight. I'll probably not talk to because I don't know them well. Because it's weird to me to go up and say, hey, how's it going? My name's Greg.
Well, the way you just said it is awkward.
How is that awkward?
If you would have come in and be like, hey, what's up? Maybe a little bit more of a pause. Get the feel. And say, oh, so you come here often?
What do you mean? That's
I'm kidding. No.
But no, definitely for 2021 coming up, I'm changing some stuff.
You're changing some things, right?
Changing some stuff.
Dude, I saw you're eating carrots, pineapple. What?
I have grapes.
Never seen Greg
I put
eat so much fruits and veggies in his life.
I put this list together. It was super weird too. One day, I'm gonna tell the story first, and then I'll go back to my list.
Mm-hmm.
I was thirsty one day. I needed something to drink, and I remembered eating the pineapple that I had gotten. And I went to the fridge and I grabbed some pineapple. After I ate it, I was like, I'm not even thirsty anymore. It's so juicy. And dude, pineapple's so good. Go to Costco. Get your pineapples there, dude. So good.
Yeah.
So I made a list of all the stuff I would eat. So I got pineapples, blueberries, grapes, apples, carrots. My son loves carrots, dude. There was one night he was hungry and I was like, what do you want for dinner? He's like, I don't know, carrots. I was like, all right, let's go.
Dude, Greg just like rinses him. Like, here we go. That's your
I didn't
dinner.
even waste time. I didn't rinse them. I gave them straight to him.
Dude, build that immune system.
But no, that's the thing that I've been trying to do is my roommate doesn't like to cook food. He'll order pizza or make hot dogs. So that pushed me in a sense to say, okay, you make food, so you don't make the decision that he brings the pizza or anything like that. So I make one big meal every day, hands down, and then I've cooked every single meal unless I've gone somewhere to where like I'm not gonna be home in time to eat. I'm gonna be starving. So I've cooked every meal. There's not a night where I'm like, I'm not gonna cook. I'm gonna go get something. Like I've cooked every meal for the past at least month. Granted, they're not necessarily the best meals. Like maybe hamburgers one night, or like the other night I made like a shepherd's pie, which is just, I mean, it wasn't really bad. It was meat. It was like hamburger meat. It was some potatoes that I half mushed up, like mashed potatoes, and then a whole can of green beans, a whole can of corn, and a whole onion. So I mean, there's a decent amount of vegetables in there. Wait, what?
They're okay.
Corn is not a vegetable because your body doesn't even digest it. When you look in the toilet, it's right there. That's what I've actually been curious about. Like, sure, granted, a lot of the corn does get digested, but so much of it's still there. Do you really get any nutrients from that? So, like, thinking back in the day, like when with like Christopher Columbus and the Native Americans and how they shared corn. Like, were they really getting much substance from the corn?
Well, the corn was used differently because the corn became like, it was like bread.
Yeah, they were making bread, almost like big tortillas, essentially, right? And it was. I've actually had some, dude. I forget where it was. I think I went to Alvarez Street in Los Angeles.
Yeah.
Have you ever been there?
Yes.
There's this like house. I don't remember what it's called, but they would ground up the corn. These people would do it.
Didn't we go
for like
together?
A show. I didn't go with you. No, I went with in like fifth grade. I went with a school trip on the train.
Didn't we go to Olivera one time?
I think we were in the area.
We ate there,
and then we
open it.
We left.
Just let him in.
Just the light. Hold
What?
on.
What happened?
Need a lighter?
Jesus. Sorry. Apparently, there's more in there, Greg. Greg, there's more in there. There's more in there.
Okay.
No,
I think we went, but that was it. I don't even think we went. I don't think I did go with you. No, I don't think so.
Who did I go with?
No, I remember you did go.
I went with somebody. No, but I had like lunch with someone there.
It's probably like Luis or Sergio.
No. I know for a fact I went with my sister one time, and I think I took my wife.
Did you go to Chinatown though?
I've been to Chinatown once in LA.
Chinatown is.
Wait,
Chinatown is crazy.
Are you talking about that like plaza with like 1 million stores, and they do like a little Chinese festival like once a year?
No, there's Chinatown. Olivera Street there's like a circular like open area. There's usually some kind of dancing. Usually the ladies will come out and do I don't know what the dance is called.
The Native American?
It may be Native American, but then there's a street right there that you walk down.
It's called Folklorico.
The street you walk down is the Olivera Street, where there's like an open market. And there's usually food, some clothes and stuff like that. And then like right down the street is Chinatown. Chinatown, dude, I went there in 5th grade. Maybe 6th. No, I think it was 6th grade. And we're walking down the street. This guy's handing us like nudie cards for like porn. And
just like
someone's trying to sell us tasers and like lasers, and someone was trying to sell us like samurai swords. I was like, what is going on here in Chinatown? We're in 6th grade and you're trying to sell us freaking tasers, porn, and samurai swords. Like, what's going on here?
Dude, they were trying to make you into a man. Giving you samurai swords, tasers.
I don't know what they were doing. But no, that's a good place. If you've never been, you get a lot of culture over there.
Yeah, you can actually take, if you're in Orange County, you can take the train over there. We've
Yeah.
done that a couple of times. You
'Cause the
just have to
big,
make sure that you get back on time because the train,
Oh, they don't wait.
for whatever reason, they just like stop working at 6 p.m. Did you notice that? Unless you get the more expensive one. That one's like $50.
Yeah.
It's like taking an Uber. Like, might as well just take an Uber.
Yeah, but it's the experience of the train, dude.
No,
I want to take a train to San Diego real
what
bad.
what I'm saying is that there's one. I think it's like the Metrolink is the cheaper one, and then there's the other one that's like $50. Just a one way. It's not even
Okay.
worth it.
Yeah.
But anyway, 2020, man, it's coming to an end. What are we gonna do?
We're gonna improve.
I'm gonna change. I picked up some bad habits this year. I need to work on that. I was doing really good, just exercising every day, doing 1,000 steps. I have not been in like 5 days.
You haven't been?
No.
Really?
Yeah, it's been work, the holidays. I noticed how much more people are, or like the holiday season is so busy, dude. So busy. Like you're still working, right?
Mm-hmm.
Then you have to shop. Then you have to wrap the presents. Then you have to plan the get-togethers. Then you have to go to the get-togethers, and then you still have to kind of juggle your life around it.
Yep.
It's been really, really chaotic, especially nowadays. I think we spoke about it in the last podcast. I was exposed to somebody who had COVID. I had to go get tested, and I had never been more scared in my life than standing in a line where more than half the people are like coughing out a lung, and you're just hoping that you're not gonna get it. By the time, imagine like you go get tested, but you it's transmitted to you around the area when you leave.
Right?
Like,
It's like
it
you
doesn't
got
make any
tested.
sense.
You came back no, but you were in line, so you were exposed to
Like,
it. So you
are
got to get
you-
tested again.
Yeah, do you really know?
It's an endless cycle of getting tested. So that's one of the weird things. Is like unless you're sick enough to go to the hospital, what's the point of getting tested? Outside of say getting tested so you could go to work, that kind of a thing.
So I was gonna say, because the only reason why I got tested, I was just gonna write it out. I mean, if I got it, I got it. I'd just sit
Yeah.
in here and quarantine myself and do nothing.
Yeah, it's like the
But-
hospital's not going to take you because you have it with no symptoms.
But I wasn't gonna be able to go to Christmas, spend it with the family. So that was the reason why I went ahead and did it.
yeah,
But again, like when you're in line, dude, like
I see them all. Where is it? On the way here, going up Valley View.
Mm-hmm.
It's just there are like all the gas stations, and you just see tons of people. I'm like, holy.
I wonder what the transmission's like. Like what's the transmission rate at those places? Maybe that's where people are
100%?
getting it. You know?
Yeah. But I don't know. I obviously can't move on from it because it's still gonna happen tomorrow. But we got 3 more months minimum of the government telling us like you can't do this, you can't do that, you gotta do it this way, you gotta do it that way. After the 3 months, we'll see what happens again. But I mean,
Pandemonium.
people can't just keep getting the same thing over and over and over. Like the people who are gonna die from it will more than likely die from it the first time they get it. Second time you get most things, it's not as bad.
Well, now they're saying that there's a different strain, and you know what?
Anytime something comes back, it's a different strain. So it hasn't been said it's bad.
Yeah, I don't know. And it's just part of it. It's just part of life now. Like,
Yeah, it's like eventually what's gonna happen? We're gonna have to stay in our homes and never go outside. What is that gonna do? Like how are we gonna get food? Like we have to live the life. Sure, it sucks. Maybe I'm the person who dies, but like if we don't go out, everyone's gonna die because no one's gonna have food. So
it's not
life's
even
gonna-
just that. It's like, imagine you live quarantined away from your all your loved ones, right? And then you get it because inside is where it's supposed to be spreading a lot. And then you wasted all the time being inside, and you never got to experience like different things with your loved ones. You never had to got together with them. It was like, was it even worth it?
Right.
I think that's a lot of people's perspective nowadays. But one thing I did learn this year, man, it's been number one. I am grateful for being able to socialize with people. You know, when we had those small little gatherings throughout the year, like my birthday, or whatever other things we did, it was it felt 100 times better than it had at any time before in my life. Like, I appreciated those little trips. I appreciated hanging out. I appreciated doing the podcast. So gratefulness, I really, really became a little bit more grateful for things.
The time we could spend with people.
The time that you spend with people has been a highlight in this year. Two, the career or the journey, the path that I'm on, proved to be pandemic. How do you say it? Like pandemic proof. Like, while most of the country is shut down, I'm still working. So I appreciate my job more. But also, it put me in a position that now I understand that I'm in something that may never, unless we're like the whole world ends, you're always gonna need land and a place to sleep.
Yeah.
Right. So I'm in a very strong industry. What else? I mean, there's other things that, maybe I won't share with you guys now, but maybe in the future.
So how about this? What is one thing you want to be able to do this year? Not necessarily just to learn. So maybe it's something you want to learn so you can do something. So for me, I want to learn how to use the stock market and actually make money from it. So I put $150 in, and I want to be able to grow that to at least $300. I want to get it more higher than 500. If I learn and I can start applying the skill and make much more than that, that's fine. But at the end of next year, I want to have at least 300 in that account.
Well, because I'm in real estate now, officially as of tonight, we launch our website. And I mean, we're still doing some revisions on the website, so we're not saying we're going to launch the website tonight, but the company's live tonight, right? So tomorrow, the 1st, that was our goal. The training is over. Now we get to work. What I really want to what I want to learn and apply is investing into real estate. And if, once I get my real estate license, hopefully within the next 3 months or so, my goal is just to make one sale. It could be a shed for all I care. Like, it could be whatever.
Yeah.
I just need to make one sale to make my 2021 a successful year. Getting back into shape. The older I get, the more I appreciate being healthy. If I wasn't healthy this year, who knows what would have happened? Maybe I already got COVID. I don't know. Maybe I was one of those people that was asymptomatic. Let's see. That, and just appreciating the freedom that we still have, in a sense. Yesterday I was getting a haircut. And the guy, this was in Laguna Beach. It's a red city, and nobody, they wear masks. They care. They're, but at the same time, it's like they don't want to be told what to do. And so I'm getting this haircut, and we're talking about how his shop, how it was affected by this whole thing. And he was telling me that the sheriff department came that morning to post the paper, but they're not going to do anything. They said, "Hey, we have to post it," but so appreciating that type of freedom that we have is going to be one of the main things I'm going to focus on next year, because we're, we may think that the US is shitty or whatever, like whatever people are saying out there. I don't know. I find it to be very giving and full of opportunity. And I could just be optimistic or whatever, but so far it has allowed me to create a life that I want to live.
Mm-hmm.
So, those three things are I'm going to be focusing on next year. As the countdown comes, and we celebrate tonight. Hopefully everything goes well, nobody gets sick, and that's it, man. There's nothing else. We just have to keep living life. It's not going to stop. We need to adapt, right?
Let's do it. The podcast is having some upgrades coming. Hit it. Check us out on the social medias too: Instagram, Facebook, Twitter. We got a TikTok coming up. Maybe we'll do a couple dances for you.
Look, I've been very both. I don't know where I'm at with TikTok. However, it's where the market's going. And if it helps us spread this message better, then so be it.
Yeah.
That's what I'm looking. That's like, yeah, the cons there may be some cons to using TikTok or whatever, but hopefully the pros are supersede the cons.
Yeah.
So with that, guys, thank you again for a successful year of getting us more listeners, some more followers on the podcast. I want to grow this community to something where everybody can benefit from. If it's just sharing our story, our take on life, on the ups and downs of this wild life. Before we go, Greg, did you hear about the bill that was just passed with the stimulus package and aliens?
Yeah, they have 180 days to release the information about aliens.
So you better believe that we will be there. And if we can, I will have Steve and his buddies be on the podcast if they come.
Yeah.
So with that, again, thanks everybody. Hope everybody has a healthy, happy new year. Let's make some changes. Let's get better. I know we've had a lot of ups and downs this year, and let's just try to end it on a more positive note.
Yeah, check out our social medias. It's going to be changing a lot this year. I have some plans for it. And thanks, Johnny Walker Black Label, for giving us a good time tonight with this drink, and A&B Cigars as well. We appreciate you. And keep
cheers.
Doing the good work.
Cheers to a healthy, happy new year to everybody.
And cheers to the TPP community. And we'll see you next year.
We'll see you next year.
Thanks, guys.
Have a good one, guys.